So I finish a project, the code works, and then comes the part I always put off, explaining what I actually built. I usually write a blog post, but this time I thought, what if the tool just explained itself?
Explained itself how, exactly?
A narrated video. 2 synthetic voices, a slide deck, architecture diagrams, generated straight from the repository. 1 command in, MP4 out. The pipeline has 5 stages. Scan the repository, ask Claude to write the episode, generate audio with Poly, build subtitles, then render everything with Remotion.
Why split it into stages rather than one big prompt?
Each stage writes something to disk, repository.json, episode.json, 1 audio file per scene. If the video looks wrong, I can open the intermediate file and see exactly where it went wrong. A single prompt-to-video pipeline would be almost impossible to debug. Before anything touches the language model, the resolver pins the exact commit SHA. Repositories change. Without that anchor, the video could describe code that no longer exists by the time someone watches it.
So the SHA ends up in the rendered video?
Right, it shows up in the architecture scene. The explanation has a concrete source of truth, not just a branch name that moves.
You're not just sending the whole repository to Claude, are you?
No, that would be expensive and mostly useless. The scanner applies the gitignore rules, drops virtual environments, lock file internals, binaries, anything large. Then it picks manifests, entry points, a few source files, a couple of tests.
And the model gets that selection as structured data?
A typed repository summary. Claude finds the story in the code. Python owns what gets included. That boundary also means the scanner is fully testable without any AWS credentials. Pedantic validates the episode the moment it comes back. If it fails, the client sends the original prompt, the bad response, and the validation error back to the model, temperature 0, and asks for a corrected object. 1 repair attempt, no infinite loops.
There's actually a test for that exact path.
Yes, fake Bedrock returns invalid JSON on the first call and valid JSON on the second. The test confirms exactly 2 calls were made. Each dialog turn goes to Poly with its own voice ID, 1 for the host, 1 for the guest. The audio renderer concatenates those clips into a single file per slide, and Remotion picks them up by index.
What about timing? Does Remotion know how long each slide should be?
The episode carries a duration in seconds per slide. Bedrock's raw durations get normalized so the total always hits the target, 2 minutes in this case. The Remotion composition calculates frames from those numbers directly.
So the fake clients mean you can run the whole build offline?
Right. Fake iClient and fake Poly client let the tests cover the full pipeline without touching AWS. Whether the extra complexity of staged artifacts is worth it for a 2-minute video is a fair question. For me, the inspectability was the point.
And the tool used itself to generate its own explainer video.
That was the real test. If Reodcast can explain Reodcast accurately, it's probably doing something right.